I've always been fascinated with finding sort of what the limits of the human potential is. When you put yourself in these extreme situations, you sort of unmask this little inner core of yourself where you see little glimpses of who you really are, what you can really do. I completed a flightless journey from Cape Town to Cardiff, 20,000 kilometers through 27 countries.
This is a challenge, this isn't a bike race, and it is an epic challenge.
Thank you. And I know right now that maybe those of you sat in the audience thinking, well, that's great, but what's this got to do with me? Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't about the body, or maybe for my wife it is, but this is about the mindset that enabled me to achieve my goal. This is about the very same mindset that can enable you to achieve your goals. And instead of living life, we just end up existing. And I don't know about you, but I've been afraid of failing. I've been worried about what other people will think of me if I fail, how it will make me feel. But I also know that I can't entertain these thoughts, because if I do, my life becomes limited, constrained by fear. As Roosevelt said, the credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there can be no effort without error and shortcoming. I love this quote. This is the essence of life. Life's a game to play. It's not a spectator sport to be enjoyed on the sidelines watching other people. We're going to get knocked down. We're going to have setbacks, disappointments, but we get up, we go again. We learn, we wear the bruises as badges that we've experienced life. We've taken risks. Because the greatest failure in life is to not risk anything. So we become the men and the women in the arena. We set our goals. But then what? How do we go from where we are now to where we want to be in the future? It starts with a vision. Everything starts with a vision. You can't outperform the story that you create for yourself. So if you've got a negative story, it's pretty much impossible to go beyond those boundaries. And in telling myself that story, I'm able to push past where I thought it was actually possible for me to get to. So start to think about the story that you've created for yourself, the vision that you've created for yourself. And it's really interesting because they all feed into each other. My vision's part of my story. I just start telling myself of what I'm doing. And I've pushed further again. And then the voice is really begging me to stop. Now, please, Marcus, I can't give you any more. And that's when I cash a check. I actually cash 2 checks. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about from the memory bank. And for me, it's the best bank in the world. The first check I cash is from the bad memory bank. As I said, have failed to achieve a lot of goals along my journey. And again, as many of you put your hand up earlier to say you've thought of the positive feelings of success, think of that time when you've failed to achieve a goal. I think back when I'm really struggling on the bike to when I was 14 and was told you're not good enough to play rugby for your country. I think back to the time when I didn't reach the summit of Mount Elbrus, or when I failed to finish the Tour de Mont Blanc. And I think of those feelings, and I say to myself, Marcus, do you ever want to feel that again? And the answer's no. It's always no. I say, well, you better keep cycling then, because otherwise that will be your reality in 2 months' time when you take on that race. And then I go to the positive memory bank, and I cash a check from there. I think of a time when I've achieved something major. Or maybe not even achieved something major, but a time where everything just felt good. Do you know when you really start to master something, it just feels good? You can do it almost effortlessly. There's been times on my bike when I've been in the Alps, in the Pyrenees, the Dolomites, when I've been going up climbs that are almost so steep that cars can't get up them. and it feels like I've got wings. And I think of that moment. And as that little voice is saying, stop now, it hurts, I go, no, it doesn't. I can fly up this mountain. And I think of that memory, and I reconnect with those emotions. And I move past where I really thought I could get to. And now I'm at the point where I think if I don't stop, I might collapse. And I think, no, it's okay, let's push it a little bit more. I've got some more in here. Because you know, when you think you're at full potential, you're at about 40%. Now, something I've come to accept over the years, as I've taken on bigger challenges, that failure happens. We don't always achieve our goals at the first time of asking. And I believe that we all can have a negative view of failure. We see it as a bad thing. Who here feels failing a goal and therefore hasn't set out to achieve something that they really want to do? And just be honest with yourselves, you know. I know some people won't put their hand up because it actually hurts, because they have to say, yeah, I have shied away from taking that goal on. I've done it in the past. But if we strip failure of the negative connotations and accept it for what it is, a learning experience rather than a true reflection of who we really are, what is there to fear? What's so scary about learning? Because we either win or we learn in life. Every single experience, we either successful or it can teach us something if we have the right mindset. It's not failure, it's life's way of teaching us lessons. And if you look at the greatest people of greatest successes, they all accept that they have to fail. Take Roger Federer, for example. We see him playing tennis on centre court, elegant, graceful, playing the best shots you could imagine, winning Grand Slam after Grand Slam. But what we don't see is the hundreds and thousands of shots over the last 20 years that he's failed, that he's hit into the net, that he's hit wide. And they're the shots that makes him able to hit the good shots when everyone's looking. I think it was Tony Robbins who said, we're rewarded in public for what we do tirelessly in private. It's about developing the inner strength to overcome those adversities, to reach our full potential. It's about harnessing the power to endure. It's about to hold on in the face of adversity over and over again without ever giving up. That's the champion's mindset, ladies and gentlemen. And it exists only when we know exactly what it is we want in life, and we won't stop until we get there. It's time to awaken your champion. It's time to let the world see your greatness. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for this evening. Go and be amazing.